Just a few quick questions about your experience of using Fernbank. But firstly, if you can tell me a little bit about yourself and who you are and who are Charco Neurotech.
Absolutely. Thanks, Simon. I am the Chief Commercial Officer of a Cambridge-based neurotech company called Charco Neurotech. We have a product that has been designed and researched for people living with Parkinson's. It's a wearable product, it's a medical device, and the research shows that we help alleviate some of the symptoms that people experience when they're living with Parkinson's.
And what are Charco Neurotech's primary objectives for growth right now?
So short-term growth objectives at the moment are we are a direct-to-consumer business. So we rely on generating awareness through any possible platforms to make people with Parkinson's and their loved one and carers aware of the availability of the product, some of the benefits that are being seen by the community already, and just make them aware that there are alternative therapies are out there that they may not be aware of.
Before working with Fernbank, what challenges as such were you facing when it came to advertising and getting, what you just said there, the message out about the product?
So we're a really young company. We're sort of beyond the startup phase, but we're still sort of growing. We have a great product and a great offering, but we didn't really have any sort of maturity in terms of sales and marketing. And I guess as an organization, when I came in and became responsible ultimately for revenue, but bigger picture, there's some larger objectives we want to achieve, is how do we generate that revenue? And being aware in the direct to consumer market that digital marketing is such a core for achieving our objectives, I guess I was faced with the challenge if I could try and go through a hiring process and try and find somebody who has expertise in this field, or I could look to work with consultant experts, contractors outside of the organization, and ultimately that's the route I chose with Fernbank.
So why did you choose Fernbank over going down that route, really?
Ultimately, I think I'm a big believer in having the right people in the right position doing the right job, and if that job is sort of very narrow, that's okay. We can build teams around it. I was aware from sort of previous experiences with Fernbank that their absolute focus was the ability to build performance marketing campaigns across Google, across the Meta platform, to be able to raise awareness and just drive traffic to the website, and actually provide real expertise on how we manage budgets, where money gets placed, making sure that we're not wasting any of the resources we have, because time and finances are really tight, and ultimately trusting Fernbank and the team there to kind of own and be responsible for the strategy, because I don't know it all. There's lots of gaps in my knowledge. I'm certainly not a digital marketeer, so I wanted people who I could trust. And through due diligence, Fernbank came across as a company to potentially work with.
But how quickly have you started to see results after we've launched the campaigns and we've got that structure in place?
Yeah, we've seen sort of instant results, really. What was absolutely crucial for me was, by background, I'm a scientist, so having traceability and sort of running experiments to see what works and what doesn't, so that we can track things and then we can change things and amend things so that they do work is vitally important. So first and foremost, having that ability to really look at the value of what we do in terms of digital marketing and see how that converts has been really important. So I really appreciate getting that set up. But in terms of sort of a return on our advertising spend, we're seeing some really, really positive multipliers on the pound spent, converting into actual sales. And I think we were all surprised at how quickly that happened.
Yeah.
That's a reflection.
Even I was.
Yeah, I think that's and so it's been a really positive start. We're not getting carried away. We're kind of taking your advice and being incremental in the way that we assign budget to these activities. But so far so good. In the first sort of 6 to 8 weeks, we've had a really positive uptick.
And was there anything that stood out about the process and approach Fernbank?
I think it comes back to, from my perspective in my role, I need to know kind of high level detail, and I need to explain to the chief exec and to the board, the sort of things we're doing without actually getting into the real detail. So I think for me, it's about trust, and it's about trusting Fernbank that they're all over the fine detail that I can't get dragged into. I don't have the bandwidth, the time, or the ability to kind of get really into the nitty gritty. But saying, look, you're basically an extension of our team. You're a part of the headcount, and I just need to trust you guys to do this. And ultimately, that has been a positive experience because it's delivered in terms of the results we've seen early doors. So I think it's that balance. I need to know just a little bit of information, the dashboards that are available, and again, the traceability of seeing what we do and the impact we have on those actions is really important. But I need to keep at a high level, but I need people who are all over the detail, and I trust that Fernbank are.
What's important to me is collaboration, communication with clients, and making sure that we're available and not just taking anyone and any client on board to run advertising for. It has to be the right fit, both for the client and for us as well. Can you describe collaboration and communication and the experience there with Fernbank?
Yeah, again, it's been a super positive. I think response times are usually typically within the day if we have any questions. If not within the day, certainly the next day. So I feel like as a paying customer, I'm being heard and being replied to in an effective way. I think you obviously use various technologies like Loom and ways of communicating that are really helpful to keep me at that high level. Not being an expert in this, I can very quickly get lost in various detail. So the communication has been really good. I think as sales leaders, or as a sales leader, we want everything yesterday. So obviously there's always that pressure to try and have things done as quickly as possible. But again, with the communication, we haven't had any. It's been sort of relatively plain sailing, so we haven't had any big hiccups. And where there's been questions asked, I think by me and my team, because I have team members within the organisation who have accountability and roles that fit very firmly and overlap with what you guys are doing. I think everyone's had a really positive experience. That's
also good to hear. Thank you. Do you recommend Fernbank, the solution and what we provide to similar businesses in healthcare or medical?
Yeah, I think I already have. Absolutely. I think the value and again, the diligence around understanding the market and designing campaigns that are fit for purpose, that don't blur the lines. Certainly in healthcare, we have codes of conduct around how we advertise. We're a member of the ABHI, which is the Association of British Health Tech Industries, and it's really important that we don't oversell health benefits or mislead people in any way, or or overpromise and underdeliver. So I think healthcare is a really interesting market for digital marketing, and with you guys having a good experience now with a few different clients working in this space, I think it's easy to recommend you to other guys because of the results, but also because of the awareness. It's not just like we're selling, I don't know, clothing or something else. It's something that we have to be really careful about. Mis-selling or selling hope or fear around people who are unwell or in a position where they are compromising their health.
And finally, how would you describe working with Fernbank as an overall solution?
Yeah, I think just really positive. I think again, working in this industry, I would have no hesitation recommending Fernbank to other people working in sort of medical technology space, the wellness space, and I think that's the ultimate test. Would you recommend somebody or would you not? And I think I feel very comfortable recommending your services, and I think that really says it all.